created out of used materials. A diversity of scrap monsters take over. DEFCON 1, a whole new taste. By men, they are chased. Red skin, black eyes, blue blood, silver teeth, green wings, brown claws, purple tail, gray hair, orange heart.
Okay, this is a video about how entities can, you'd think they would attach to physical, humans or whatever, or they maybe could even attach to physical objects, other than humans. I guess that's possible, but this was really bizarre, and I don't ever remember having an experience like this till around October of 2014, where some demonic entities attached themselves to this horrid smell that came over us in the parking garage in Kansas City. Yeah, I was always freaking under attack by these fuckers, by these non-physical freaking entities, and a lot of them are reptilian entities. Of course, they can take on many appearances. A lot of the negative entities, they don't really have a name, so you kind of got to call them reptilian entities. There's some snake beings that I've seen before with a bull head. It had a bull head and a snake mamba body. I don't know if that one was, it was kind of negative, but it was crawling on my bed. It showed itself to me at 11 o'clock in the morning, and then it started crawling on my bed. But yeah, it was negative, but I don't know what it would have done if I would have fallen asleep, because I was going to go ahead and try to fall back to sleep, but it was 11:15 a.m. and I went ahead and got up out of bed, and it was on a weekend. But yeah, a lot of these unseen entities, these forces, they're, can't really call them anything else but reptilian entities, because that's the only name people have for them. But, and when I was possessed back in 2010, that was definitely a demonic reptilian male entity that possessed me, because I know their brains. And I actually became one. I morphed into one. Well, he made me morph into him back in 2004, but I can talk about that later. And so I know exactly what it's like to be a reptilian and have that mentality. At least the mean one mentality, because that one that morphed into me was completely vicious. And yeah, you can tell they have no emotional component in the brain whatsoever. They're just like pure freaking animal, like a ape or a gorilla. But yeah, these reptilian demonic entities, they may even be worse than a gorilla's brain, Who knows, because I don't really know what it's like to be a gorilla, but I know what it's like to be a demonic reptilian, demonic reptilian, or a vicious reptilian. And, okay, so my coworker, we had went to like 4 ballets in over about a year and a half period, maybe about 4 ballets. And, well, I don't know how I got into it, but I lived in Kansas City for a long time, and I like Kansas City. And I really wanted to maybe go cruise around Kansas City after we went to the ballet, but she just wanted to go there and go back home, go to the ballet and go back home. But anyway, so I ended up going 3 or 4 times over about a year or a year and a half with her, and we would just go straight there and then come back home. Well, actually, we would eat on the plaza and then come back home, but I always wanted to roam around Overland Park because that's where I lived, in that area. But anyway, so I think it was the last time, or was it the time before that? I think it was the time before the last time. Or maybe it was the last time, I can't remember. The last time I went through the plaza to the ballet was around October of 2014. And I had this weird experience happen. Yeah, it was kind of scary because I've never really had an experience like this before. But yeah, I know I've always been under attack by these freaking, because if you have the vibrational compatibility with these entities, then they're always going to try to attack you whenever, your vibrations get low and stuff. But most people never pay attention. I never paid attention to all that, I'm sure I was possessed many a times. I know I was. When I was drunk and shit, back when I was 21 or whatever, and 22. But then I kind of started growing up at the age of 24. And then I had a spiritual awakening at 28. So then I became, a much better person then. But yeah, these freaking entities, they always attack me. Now, I'm very alert and aware. And yeah, 100% of the time they attack me, when I lay down. Physically and non-physically. If I get really, really, really angry at somebody. And, so anyway, this is what happened. So anyway, my point is these, a smell is, I guess it's still energy, right? A smell, or it's, it's non-physical. These entities are non-physical. I mean, they're a force, they're non-physical. So I guess it makes sense that they can attach themselves not only to human physical things, or to physical humans, but they can also attach themselves to drug smells, because drugs are negative, so these negative entities can attach themselves to the actual smells of the drugs, the odors. Surely somebody's had an experience like this before. But like I say, this is the first time that I can think of where I've had an experience like this, and it was very, very, very scary. And of course, all these stupid people, like my coworker, she didn't know what the fuck was going on. And, nobody else. I mean, when these people are possessed, they fucking don't know they're possessed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they don't even know what the fuck they're doing. Like my brother, he's possessed. Well, he sees how other people are screwed up, like if they do meth or whatever. He sees how they become demons. He sees it, himself and other people. But he doesn't realize it, how he's possessed all the time when he drinks. And I know he's possessed because the entity, the reptilian entity, showed me a virtual reality scene of my brother sitting on the couch over at my parents'. And the reptilian entity was sitting there with them on the left, and that's what he was telling me. He was like, hey, I'm attached to your brother. He didn't show me his face. He was moving around right by my brother. And he didn't show me his face, but I know he was a reptilian entity, and he's attached to my brother, and that's why my brother is fucking crazy, especially when he drinks. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of sad. His family won't have anything to do with them. And, of course, my grandfather, he was really possessed too. But I didn't know him because he died before I was born. But, yeah, so he doesn't, see it though. And these people, like I say, when they become, because if you know you're possessed, I mean, you're not going to, if you're aware of it, they're not going to have that much power over you. Just like when I was possessed in 2010, the reptilian demon wasn't strong enough to possess me 100%, because I kind of knew what was going on, but I really didn't. I half-assed knew what was going on, and it just wasn't strong enough. But it was able to possess me like 98%. And it was very, very, very scary. And that was before I knew aliens had been in my life all my life. And that was before I knew they were even in my life then, in 2010. But yeah, I mean, like I could do a drug right now and I could probably feel an entity try to possess me or whatever, but I'll be so aware and alert that there's no way it's going to have any power. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, everybody's in a fucking trance, and when they do drugs, they don't even know they get possessed. And, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, like my brother's been in jail for I feel so bad for him though, you know, because he's my brother. He's been in jail for about 30 days, you know, straight. And of course, if he messes up his probation, he has to go back for about a year. And, I mean, well, see, another thing, too. A lot of reptilian hybrids probably have this. I would not doubt it. It's called narcissistic personality disorder. And I admit, I probably am a little bit like that, but not enough to be diagnosed. Everybody is to a certain degree, but yeah, it makes so much sense. That's what he has. And he has it to where he could actually be diagnosed with it. It's called narcissistic personality disorder. And he has that plus many, many, many other things. But yeah, I mean, the whole human race, they're just walking around in a fucking trance. You know, when they do drugs, they don't even see how they fucking act. You know, they think you're the one that's fucked up. I stay the fuck away from everybody. That's why I have my little children, my little felines. Yeah, and I have my little turtles. And my little toad. And I feed possums. I feed the little possums. Actually big possums. And I feed the crows. I'm pretty sure they came today. Man, I freaking conked out on the couch for like 3 hours. See, that's another thing. I guess I had seasonal affective disorder today because I got enough sleep, but man, I just felt like sleeping, you know, at 2 o'clock. So I conked out from 2 to 5 o'clock. Oh yeah, the reptilians, every single dream I had, they created for me. I'm not going to talk about that, but all my dreams that I had between 2 and 5 p.m. But during that time, the crows came and ate some food. You know, they're wild animals, so they're kind of leery about being around humans and getting, you know, on patios and stuff, but they will. They probably sensed that I was conked out on the couch because sometimes I would try to stare out and look at them and they know it, and so they fly off. They're not stupid. But yeah, they came because some of the dog food was gone. The possums didn't eat all of it the last couple nights, I guess because it's been so cold. So they sort of stayed in their little caves in the ground or whatever. But now I notice some dog food is gone and there's still 2 donuts left. So they'll probably come overnight and eat the rest of the donuts. But yeah, so I feed them and then, oh yeah, and then raccoons come too. Occasionally, but you know, when you ascend and stuff, you see how fucked up everybody is. But one thing that's not fucked up are animals. Animals, reptiles, they are the only things that aren't fucked up. All other human entities, you know, are fucked up on planet Earth. Or hybrids, they're fucked up too. So I stay away from them too. But yeah, it was amazing. My brother, he was so calm and damn, I mean, he was like a different person when we, you know, went to my grandmother's house on Christmas. And when he went with us to my sister's boyfriend's house, we go there every year on Christmas, and he was just so normal. Well, you know, he wasn't drinking either. But yeah, of course, he drinks every night, but, you know, he remained sober during those 2 times, and then I'm sure later he went off to drink. Yeah, he's an alcoholic. He drinks every night. Either, you know, a little or moderate or very, very extreme. And I think he's been drinking for many, 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 many years. I'm pretty sure. But I don't know how long he's been hardcore. I think for the past 2 or 3 years he's been hardcore. But, okay, so me and my coworker, we went to a ballet, which was kind of stupid. I don't really like them. I like the ballets where there's no acting. I like the ballets, which I've only been to one, where they were just dancing on their toes the whole damn time for an hour and 20 minutes. Yeah, it only lasted like an hour and 20 minutes. And they were dancing the whole time, on their toes. There was no stupid acting and stuff in it. Those are the ones that I like, but I just, to have something to do, I went with my coworker 3 or 4 times over the past year. Or well, actually a little over a year. And, so the last time we went, or either it was that time or just the ballet, because we were going about every 3 months. I can't remember if it was the very, very last time this experience happened or the ballet that we went to before that time. But yeah, the last time I went to the ballet was around October 2014. And let's see, we were, let me think, were we coming? Trying to think if we were going to the ballet or if it was over with. Yeah, it was after we ate. Yeah, it was after the ballet, and then we went to the Country Club Plaza to eat lunch, to eat a late lunch, and then, yeah, and then we after we got out of the restaurant, we went into the parking garage, and these big old fumes. It was kind of obvious there was a meth lab on wheels. We were on the bottom level of the parking garage, and some of those parking garages have 4 levels. And I think we were at a parking garage that had at least 3, or at least 2. Yeah, like some of them have about 4 levels. Some of them may only have 2 or 3, but I think we were under a parking garage that had at least 2 or 3 levels. And so this meth, I know it had to have been meth because the fumes was horrid. And so it was like a meth lab on wheels that I guess was parked, somewhere above us or in the vicinity. And all these fumes just came through, the cracks or whatever of the concrete parking garage. And like I say, I was on, let me see. I think I was on the right, and my coworker was on the left. So we were walking through the parking garage to get to our car, and these fumes came through the cracks of the concrete parking garage. And and I was just kind of like, what's that smell? And I felt this force almost knock me the fuck over. I mean, this force almost knocked me over. I swear to God. It literally, it pushed me back and almost knocked me over. And I could tell it was a force. These demonic, entities somehow attached itself to this nasty meth smell. The chemical smell was just freaking horrid. I mean, it's so fucking disgusting. I've never smelled anything like it before. Like when I went jogging many times when I was younger, I would smell rubbing alcohol in the atmosphere. That's one of the chemicals that they do use. But this was like, I guess, a smell after they were already finished and everything. This was like a smell of the 50 freaking or 35 chemicals they put together or whatever. I don't know, exactly how they do it. But, yeah, it was the most horrid freaking chemical smell in the fucking world. People like that, they just need to anybody who makes meth and all that, I mean, they just need to get rid of them. Hitler style. But, I mean, I don't blame the entities, I blame them, the human beings, you know what I mean? Because if it wasn't for them, there wouldn't be these demonic entities lurking around. So anyway, this freaking force almost knocked me the fuck over. It was almost, like I say, it was almost strong enough to knock me over, but it didn't. And I was just like, whoa. And anyway, so I was trying to ask my coworker, I was like, did you not smell that? And she was like, oh, well, I think it was just the sewer coming up from the ground. And it's like, no, that's not what the hell it was. You know what I'm saying? But people that are in a trance, and she was, nobody liked her. I think she did have bipolar, but she's pretty cool, she was kind of mean at work. She doesn't work there anymore, but she doesn't work with me anymore, but she was kind of mean at work. But when I went out with her, to these ballets, she was a different person. She really wasn't that mean at all. But yeah, at work, man. But she had been in the military for like 20 years. And of course, she had bipolar. Bipolar people, they're very, very, very moody. But anyway, so of course, she did tell me she heard growling once in her closet. And I was like, yeah, that's called a reptilian entity. They growl, But yeah, she's told me she's heard that before. But, and I told her some things about my alien abductions before on the way to Kansas City. But yeah, she wasn't awakened or whatever like I was and attuned to all this shit. And nobody is. If the president told them to drink fucking gasoline, they fucking would. You know what I'm saying? They totally would. If they said, 3 tablespoons of gasoline was good for you every day, 99% of the United States would do it. Okay, so anyway, this was just a very weird experience, and I don't know. I don't think I've ever had any other one like it. But, so like I say, these demonic entities they tried to attack me. What I felt like they were trying to do was knock me over on my butt and try to possess me. That's what I totally felt like. I felt like it was trying to actually possess me, like get in my body, get into the top of my brain. That's what I felt like. That actually, when I got possessed in 2010, it got into my body first, and he got into my body first. So I like jerk on the couch, and then it went through the top of my head. The entity came through the top of my head and possessed my whole faculties. But at first, it attached itself to my physical body, and that's why I jerk. And then, like I say, after it attached the top, at the top of my head, that was the second thing that it did. It attached. It went through the top of my head. And that's when a cloudy wave came over me, and that's when I was 99%, my faculties were possessed. But it went through my physical, it possessed my physical body first, this male reptilian demonic entity. And that was back in 2010. And so when this wave came over me, not this wave, this force came over me with... like I say, the entities were able to attach themselves to this meth smells, this non-physical, energetic smells of the meth fumes, this horrific chemical fumes. And the force was so strong, it almost knocked me over. And I totally felt like that's what it was trying to do, was trying to possess me. And then, of course, once it would have possessed my physical body, then it would have came through the top of my head and tried to possess my faculties. And then, of course, it would have told me, go kill her, kill yourself, go kill her, kill yourself, go kill her. Actually, it told me, go get the knife, kill her, kill you, go get the knife, kill her, kill you, go get the knife. It's amazing what these fuckers can do, man. It's very interesting, but, if you're too powerful, and I'm too powerful for them. So anyway, that is my... so back in 2010, when that reptilian entity possessed me, and I put that story on here. The video is on here from a few months ago. I put that video on here on YouTube. And after it possessed me, my physical body and my faculties, it kept telling me, it kept making my own words, my own voice in my head say, you know, to myself, go get the knife, kill her, kill me, go get the knife, kill her, kill me. And I kept saying that over and over again in my head because the reptilian entity was able to program that in my mind. Yeah. Oh yeah, once you get attuned to these entities, and man, I know every single thing they do. Everything. So anyway, that is my video about negative entity attachments to drug smells. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. They can attach to air, basically. Which, you know, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, they're everywhere. I mean, they're floating around in the air everywhere. You know, but if it's just stagnant air, you know, they don't have any power. But these chemical smells hold negative vibrations and negative energy. So these negative entities are able to attach themselves to these chemical smells in the air. It's very, very interesting. Because like I say, this was a freaking force that almost knocked me over. And like I say, I mean, it's very scary, especially when you know everybody around you, you know, they fucking can't, they don't understand what you're fucking going through, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, that is my video about negative entity attachments to drug smells, especially freaking meth. Thank you.